This is the TNT Wrestling Connection. This is what we're doing. Each and every show, we're going to take a look at a match. I like to say classic match, but Turnip goes, hey, it could be a match from yesterday. Either way, it could be. It could be. But we're going to take that featuring some of the greatest wrestlers of all times, past, present, and we're just going to add our own spin of commentary.
The TNT Connection.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans all around the world, forget hooked on phonics. You'll get hooked on tonic. That is me. I am he, DJ Tonic, along with my partner, DJ Turnip, and this is the TNT Wrestling Connect. Here is a show where we take a match. It could be classic. It could be garbage. It could be somewhere in between. And we're going to do our commentary and put our spin and take on that match. Before we get into the next match that we are going to watch, we got questions. We'll get to know us, a little Q&A. So, turn up. Question for you for this show is, who is your all-time favorite wrestler? And
so, why? I'm gonna start off with this because I've been asked this question many times in many different generations and many different people. So I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna start off by saying this. At this moment right now, I don't have a favorite. I appreciate all wrestlers for putting their bodies on the line for that type of stuff. I feel like with wrestling, for me, I feel like it's like music. You gotta like kind of like open your mind, close your mind sometimes. Sometimes it may be a technical match. Sometimes it may be a brawl. Sometimes it may be a death match. And there's different kind of wrestling. So like this is just my thank you for all wrestlers from independent to the WWE. Appreciate you for doing what you do. But with that being said, I'll say for children, for child-wise, I will say The Undertaker. The Undertaker is, I'll say, probably my favorite because he's been the most consistent between when I was growing up. Like I said, first time I remember seeing it was like 99, 2000. He was there. And then when I started growing up, he was like kind of like changing from the Ministry to the American Badass. And that's like what I really remember. But I do remember as he was doing the American Badass, I was like, I wonder if he would ever go back to the Undertaker that he was before then. And so my mom had bought me WrestleMania 20, and that's when he actually did go back to that's when he went back to the dead man gimmick, and he's been doing that ever since till his retirement in 2020. So I will say that between him and Kane, those were the two people that caught my eye like immediately when I started watching wrestling. I was like, whoa, like I don't know what this is, but this is interesting. And so, yeah. So yeah, that's my that's what I'll say is my favorite. But what about you, Tonic? How do you feel? Or who's your favorite?
Once again, I'm a little older by like a whole decade. So what caught my eye and memory, and still one of my, I'm gonna have two just like you did then. So I'm gonna go, and this is, easy peasy for those from the 80s and early 90s. American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, probably the greatest promo cutter of all times. If you don't know, like Hard Times is like one of the greatest promos ever.
For sure.
But he knew how to tell a story in the ring, and he knew himself. Like he's like, man, I'm this big guy, man. I'm not going flippity floppy all around. I'm not going to exert too much energy. And then so the other obviously is the counterpoint to him, which is Ric Flair. I got to watch Ric Flair in his prime. And people don't know how sneaky athletic Ric Flair really was, because he always played the heel for the most part. So always cheating, low blows, the dirty stuff, but very athletic. If you watch every time he ran into the turnbuckle and flipped over, and it's just in his prime, just super athletic. Just knew how to tell a story from a heel point of view that just made, and of course he was very good on the mic as well. You wanted to hate And then I already mentioned, if we're going to talk mic skills, I already mentioned Macho Man, Randy Savage. Like, oh my goodness. So, but yeah, it's still Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair are my two favorite of all times. Once again, I'm a WCW guy. I know you're WWF, WWE.
So here's the thing, right? I'm not gonna lie, and because I know you bring that up a lot. Like I said, I wasn't old enough to know what. Honestly and truthfully, if I was old enough, I probably would be more into ECW. But that's just me.
Right.
I probably would have been more into ECW, because it was
bloody and gory.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And honestly, when you're not a wrestling fan, that's gonna be the first thing to catch your eye, not an armbar. So,
what's crazy?
But that's another thing though too. That's a stereotype. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for. That ECW had that most people think that is blood and guts and all that. But there are some people. I mean, there are some matches on there. Like there are some wrestlers that came through ECW. Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Two Cold Scorpio.
Stone Cold was in there for a minute.
Yeah, Stone Cold was in there for a minute. There are some technical people. Lance Storm. Like there are a couple people that came through ECW. So I like the fact that ECW was able to give a little bit of everything.
So I'll say this, since we're going to talk about that as a kid, what you gravitate to, that's where you and I are different. I gravitated to the technical wrestling, your Dean Malenko's and all that. And so I remember being in middle school and joining the wrestling team and being so disappointed that there were no suplexes and no DDTs.
What's funny about that? That's literally the same thing that happened to me, but I was on the opposite side because I was more into the glitz and the glamour and like the special effects and the WWF and all that because they had Undertaker. I was more mad that we didn't get to get chairs and all that shit. But I'm thinking wrestling is like us jumping off turnbuckles and all that stuff.
Yeah. So, I did a semester maybe.
Yeah, I did 1 year
in wrestling. I was like, this
sucks.
But you know what? We could have been the next Brock Lesnar or the next Kurt Angle if we would have stuck with it.
We would have been
Shelton Benjamin or somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah. So okay, there you go. All right. So let's talk about this match that we are about to see today.
So what's actually funny, we've been talking about technical excellence and all that. This match we have right now is actually a hidden gem because not a lot of people talk about this match because this is kind of one person on the way out with hindsight and one person on their way up. So the match we're watching today is Bret Hart versus Rocky Maivia. And it's for the Intercontinental Championship. And this is on an episode of Monday Night Raw in 97. So if you know about 97, you know about Bret Hart, you know why I say on the way out.
Right.
But just a little backstory on this match. Bret Hart and Rocky Maivia faced off on March 31st, 1997 on an episode of Raw. This was for the Intercontinental Championship. Bret Hart had recently turned heel and reformed the Hart Foundation with Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. And the match was noticeable for the intense rivalry and the involvement of the Hart Foundation. This encounter is remembered for the heated emotion and the beginning of the legendary feud between Bret Hart and The Rock, which would become a significant part of the WWE history. It's significant because it's like, I feel like it's significant because it's like what could have been. Because, like I said, at the end of 97, that's a wrap for Bret Hart in WWE.
Right, yeah.
So, this is going to be an interesting one. Let me ask you you said you were more of a WCW guy. So you've never seen this before.
I've never seen this match before.
Never seen this before. So this took place in, please excuse me for all my Massachusetts people. I'm not really familiar with this. Do you know what this was? Does it say Rochester? Rochester? Is that Rochester?
Oh no, where are you looking?
Right here, at the bottom.
Worcester.
Worcester, Massachusetts. This is where this match took place. So ready to rock?
I ain't gonna tell nobody. It's spelled phonetically.
Look, I've never been to Massachusetts. I don't know nothing about Worcester. I don't know. Look, I'll be honest.
That's where we get Worcester sauce.
I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, you gotta. Never mind. We'll talk about it later.
Anyway, are you ready to watch this match?
Sure.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
All right, so like I said, we're in Massachusetts right now. Raw is War. I'm actually intrigued to see what was on the I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna look that up as you watch this. I'm gonna see what WCW had going on at the same time, because this is around the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah,
So,
they got Raw is War. I do remember seeing that sometimes. I would go back and forth, but I was definitely Team WCW all day, every day. I'm trying to save up money to buy it back from.
oh yeah, we're still doing that. Getting the GoFund us for to buy WCW. Say WCW 20 years later.
Yeah, 20 years later. All right. So here's Bret the Hitman Hart with his.
So let me ask you this, Tonic. What would you? Well, you're not a WWF guy, but if you were to say, what would you say is the prime for Bret Hart? What year? Or could you give a year? Or is it you don't know because you were more of a WCW guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
So were you watching when Bret Hart was in WCW?
I was a little bit. So around that time, once again, now I'm actually working a lot more because I graduated high school in 96. So
okay,
so I went right to the work field. So 96, 97, I'm working a lot. So I actually missed a lot of wrestling in that time period. Just because of work and adulting, wanting to be out of the house. I don't remember really just being in the house on Monday nights now because I'm like, at this point, I'm 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm a teenager. I'm out these streets.
Right.
Even on a Monday night, because there was, matter of fact, I'll never forget, there was a club that was popping in my hometown. Monday nights was the night to be at this club. So, yeah, there was a lot of wrestling during the Monday Night Wars that I missed because, I was being a fast tail. Chasing these girls.
Chasing the girls. And it looks like Bret Hart's going to be chasing his Intercontinental title. It looks like I was actually wondering who was the champion, because I know Bret Hart is like one of the top Intercontinental champions. But okay, so this is okay. So I know this is when he's right before. I think this is probably right before he went to Nation. Nation. They're still talking. They're still booing him. Die Rocky Die.
Right.
Type of deal.
Okay.
But yeah, this should definitely be an interesting one. Let's see what Rocky Maivia and Bret Hart could bring us.
All right. Is that Earl Hebner?
Yeah, I think that's Earl.
Legendary referee Earl
Legendary referee. He it's very interesting how he got let go. Because he was selling off-brand. He was selling merch. He was selling off-brand merch. Very interesting. But okay. Rocky got the upper hand. I always hate when they do it. Just hate him.
Hey, he's a good guy. He can't do that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. As soon as I said that, I thought about it. I'm like, this is Rocky Maivia we're talking about.
Yeah. This
the
is
Rock would slap the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But that's nice, right? Come on, Rocky.
Great storytelling from Heel Bret Hart. Heel Bret Hart was actually, I think, probably even better than face Bret Hart because he was able to do what he could do, but still in a heelish way. Like he could be a little more savage, but still technical.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if this is the time frame when this was happening, but I do want to say around this time, this is when Bret Hart is kind of like being the advocate for The Rock, and Shawn Michaels is like kind of holding him down. So I feel like this is around that time where Shawn Michaels was honestly a dick to everybody around this time. Like I remember, shout out Tony Atlas, first black tag champ.
Yep, half of the first. Yeah, because that's his basically nephew in the ring.
Type shit. Somewhat.
Yeah. So I was this old when I found out Rocky Maivia is half black.
Yeah.
No, I found out.
I'm not gonna lie. That was a wild thing that you told me off air that you didn't know that Rocky Johnson was The Rock's father. It's very interesting. Very interesting. But I mean, hey.
Yeah, not a WWE, WWF.
Boy, I can tell you. The fact you didn't know Rocky Johnson was.
I didn't know. I didn't even know who Rocky Johnson was, to be honest. But
with the crossbody.
They always portray The Rock as being Samoan. That's all he talked about. Samoan. I'm Samoan. So I was like,
but his swag, he was swag. I feel like the swag, you could tell he was kind of. I mean, that he had.
But we just heard. You haven't heard Rikishi rap. You know the swag that the Usos have. They're also like Samoans have swag. They got some flavor.
Yeah,
I love a good Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A. They got flavor. All right, back to this match. Okay.
There you go. There's your favorite headlock.
Well, a great take down as well. Bret Hart is great at putting together matches for sure.
Absolutely, I'm pretty sure he's the one calling this match.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. Because right now, The Rock is still keeping it basic. But this is my biggest problem that I had with WWF. You didn't really have wrestling matches, like for real. Punches, kicks. You might get a suplex.
Well, okay, so I mean, look, I don't want to be the devil's advocate, but I mean, couldn't you kind of? Well, no, I won't say you can say the same thing about WCW, but at the same time, around this time, isn't this the time where like in the first few matches you may get a match, but then like after that everything is like disqualification, interference type deal, like no Nitro?
Yeah, this was about that time where they were, because once again, this is the Monday Night War time, and but like I said, you can still, because look at this, like we haven't had holds. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you got a lot of strikes, but you don't have a lot of holds. That was WWE's big thing. Whereas I feel like a lot of the wrestlers in WCW's actually had holds.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like the only people that really had holds was the cruiserweights. And honestly, they really didn't have holds. They were known for their spots.
Well, I will say this, once WCW tried to get into the ratings war, obviously NWO and all that, those guys that came over. So
you're talking more like Jim Crockett.
Probably more so, yeah. Once we got to the ratings war, but even then, like Sting versus Great Muta was a good. We should watch like Sting versus Ric Flair kind of match and see if there's a difference.
We'll try that out. I'm not mad at it. Like I said, but also, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I said it on this episode, but if you have something you want to,
matches that you want us to commentate on, definitely drop in the comments. It could be WCW, WWE, any big promotions, TNA.
Boy, I feel like a commentator for WCW. We ain't been talking about this match at all.
Right. Could be Ring of Honor. It could be indie match because nothing's gone.
Russian leg sweep. Ooh,
nothing has happened in this match. That's like the most exciting move that's happened so far. To be honest, we haven't missed anything.
I mean, this is dirt. This is heel Bret. He's being real. What's the word? Cynical? Is that the word?
That's not the word you're looking for.
That's not the word I'm looking for. What's the word am I looking for?
It's being real snarky.
Snarky? Snarky? No, I think Bret Hart was. Well, no. Bret Hart was, no, not a. It's just funny. I said that out loud. I'm like, no, Bret Hart was definitely snarky. He's still a little snarky. Watching some of his interviews, but there goes what punches you like. The Rock has been getting his ass whooped this whole time. Come on, Rocky. Kicks, and more kicks. Ooh, I'm surprised he hasn't done the submission joint across the turnbuckle, the little figure four joint he does.
Oh yeah.
It's probably coming.
It's probably
coming.
I love it. He's goading the crowd, and commercial break. And we're back,
ladies and gentlemen. More hits to the back.
Bret Hart still in full control of this match so far. I'm gonna start using my commentary voice.
Yeah, let's go commentary PCW style, man. What we got?
Headbutt to the small of the back. That's actually a very unique offense. I don't think I've ever seen that before. A standing headbutt to the small of the back. But that's Bret Hart. I like it actually. And it's like a
back drop. Boom. Here we go.
Belly to back suplex actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have to give a little more for Rocky. Rocky will not die.
He will not die. That's why he's the Intercontinental Champion. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, this Bret Hart, I love it. He just gets to be a menace.
You know who Bret reminds me in this match? Like moving real slow, just catching a body part. Oh, surprise roll up!
Most dangerous move in all of professional wrestling.
Oh, he's like, oh yeah, no, you getting too fast, motherfucker. slow this joint right back down.
Slow this right
back down.
Who does he remind you of?
But yeah, so he kind of reminds me of so I see where Randy Orton kind of gets his
just slow, methodical.
Yes, yeah, methodical. There we go.
That's the word. Yeah,
methodical. There we go. See, TNT Wrestling Podcast. You'll learn, not the podcast, but connection. There you go. You'll learn a new word in there.
That's you and the other T.
Yeah, shout out to Tanaka. That's the other T in T.
Oh, yeah. I can appreciate a heel Bret Hart for that reason, because he's got the technical acumen. He doesn't have to cheat, doesn't have to go low blow.
Well, hold on now. The match ain't over yet. And he hadn't had the reason to cheat yet. He's been whooping his ass the whole time. Irish Rip. Ooh, punch to the gut.
Right to the bread basket. And Fisherman carry suplex.
I'm about to say, I know you're trying to wrap this up, Rock, but you're gonna do a little bit more of a Bret.
You
Kick
are.
to the gut. Boop.
There's those punches I love.
Belly to belly.
Oh, shouts out Magnum TA.
Right.
That used to be his finisher.
And Bailey.
Showing my age. Well, that's a belly to belly.
Yeah,
belly to belly.
Belly to belly.
All right,
Irish whipping.
Oh,
whoa, that edit. What the fuck? Holy shit.
Well, that was his, what's that DDT called? The floor to?
Yeah, the float over. I think it's like the float over DDT.
Yeah.
It was just the camera. It was the camera change.
It was a little sticky. Yeah,
a little weird.
Okay.
You know what I wish for, Tonic?
What?
For in wrestling, and I know this is probably not gonna crossbody. Oh, and he flipped it over. 1, 2. Ooh. You know what I want in more of my wrestling, and I know this is probably never gonna happen, but fuck it. I just in a perfect world, I feel like commentators should be more honest. Like, man, this match fucking sucks. Bro, I would love for oh, here we go. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Come on. Give it to me, Bret. Come on.
There you go. You asked for it.
Figure 4.
Yeah.
Woof. 1, 2, 3.
This is
DQ.
beautiful.
What?
This is beautiful.
Oh, that's a DQ. Oh, he got disqualified. Dang, you just gonna give it up like that? Hey. Oh, he don't care. He's
trying to hurt this man.
Right, he's trying to hurt him.
I love it. I love this pit man. He is not letting go.
But you know that's on. It's kind of on brand for Bret, because this is Stone Cold
Stone Cold to the rescue. And
they're Owen. They finna jump. Oh, they jumped.
Yeah, Hart Foundation.
Dang, that's crazy. But I will say this. I feel like this is kind of on brand for Bret. And I don't know. I'm not speaking for Bret at the time, but this is 97. He's already been the world champion. I feel like he probably feels like the Intercontinental's kind of beneath him. So he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm finna just fuck this man up.
Road Warriors.
Legion of Doom.
Oh yeah, were they Legion of Doom in WWE?
I believe so. I think they're the Legion of Doom in the
WWE.
Yeah, because you're WCW. What were they called in WCW?
I don't remember, because I did go back and forth between the two. One of my favorite tag teams of all time. So I just call them Road Warriors. Yeah.
What a rush! What a rush!
We just watched Survivor Series. That would have been a great Survivor Series kind of matchup. The Road Warriors, Steve Austin and The Rock versus the Hart Foundation.
I don't think I remember that one.
I said that would have been a great
Survivor
Series match.
Oh,
that would have been a great Survivor Series match.
That would have been a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the episode.
That was actually that was a really good match. I'll give it to you. That was
So I feel like for you, it just started off a little too slow.
I mean, I give it 3 stars. Definitely not 5-star material.
Oh, definitely 5 stars.
It was middle of the road. It wasn't terrible.
Right.
Yeah, but
so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I do remember in the beginning I asked what WCW had going on at the time.
Okay.
The same episode.
All right, so I think that's going to do it for us for this edition of the TNT Wrestling Connect. So once again, DJ Tonic, DJ Turn Up. Until next time, we're out.